Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Talk Makeup. Today I decided I wanted to do a review slash look on the Jeffree Star Cremated palette. Now I know this palette has been out for a little bit now. It came out this year. But where I figured it was close to Halloween, that it would be a good idea. I figured this is a perfect Halloween palette if you wanted to do a smoky eye kind of look. Now, as you can see, I've used this palette pretty well. A few shades I used quite a bit. I mean, before I bought this palette, I was never into the smoky eye looks. I've always been into the bright colors, so I decided to buy it anyway. But the metallics in this palette are unreal. Like, my favorite, obviously, I like the Hearse and Angel of Death. Those ones I use a lot, and there's some shades I haven't used at all. But the one that I least have used is the bottom one here called Diamond Ashes. That one I can't seem to get much pigment out of. I've tried. I guess it would be better with your finger, but I don't really use my fingers that much for this. I haven't quite decided yet if I wanted to use the matte shades, the metallic shades, or both. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to try to attempt like a dark look, something that I haven't used quite yet before, but I can't help it. There's some shades that I really like in here. I'm gonna go ahead and use, I think, the shade for up here above my crease, and that I'm gonna go with Wednesday. That one's like a darker gray. But I always found, like, I think Jeffree Star mentioned when this palette was before the launch, he said that shade was based off of Wednesday Addams. But if I was going to make a shade after Wednesday, I would do a black, in my opinion. Gray doesn't really scream Wednesday Addams to me, but I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit here. I use the darker colors in this the most. I've used Wednesday a few times. I'm not quite sure if the lighting is too bright in here or not, but and then I'm going to go ahead and do this exact thing on the other side. Now that I have that done on both sides, I'm going to go ahead and blend out the top a little bit. And then I'm going to figure out which color I'm going to use next. I'm going to take the Cremated palette and use the mirror. And just blend out the top some. So, and then I'm gonna do it over here. And then I think I'm not quite sure if I want to go with another color or stick with a gray. But I'll take a little bit more because I'm losing my color, I find. Now, like I said, I'm doing this look more towards a Halloween. I mean, I know most people go with, you know, red, black, orange, but I just want to, this palette just screams Halloween to me. He released this, I think it was supposed to be for spring, but I think it was late. But this would have been perfect to be released Halloween, in my opinion. Alright, so now that I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to do Inheritance. I have not used that shade yet. Inheritance. Yeah, I think that's the shade we're gonna go for. So again, I'm going to do Inheritance on this side, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other side. And then I think after when the look with the colors that I use in the Cremated palette, once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and use some pressed glitter from another palette. Too bad this one didn't have any, but okay. So Inheritance, I think. Yes, I have not used that one yet, so. Oh no, that came out more of a green. You know what? I'm gonna put, since that came out like to me, it looks like an army green. I'm not liking that, but kind of too late anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in the middle on both sides, and then I'm gonna go find another color because we're gonna use some pressed glitter in the middle anyways. So actually, I'm going to go ahead with Grave Digger. That one right there. That one would be a good one to use. From the way it looks, Inheritance looks like a dark gray, and it may be, but it looks kind of green to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it on this eye. And I'm just gonna try to put the shade on top of that one because I am not a fan of it. Not for a smoky eye look. I'm liking this one. I like the Grave Digger one. And then I'm gonna bring it up in the crease a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other eye, and then we are going to blend that out. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. I might have to put a little bit more of the Wednesday shade up at the top, because I feel like the shades were kind of similar, but that's fine. I like it anyway. So put a little bit more Grave Digger in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Wednesday shade again, and then I'm going to make that a little higher, and then I'm going to blend that out. Just like that. And when I'm done this, I am going to go ahead, and I feel out of all my palettes, the best pressed glitter for this look, I am going to go and use, it is a silver, it's a silver shade in my it's a new one that came out this year, the Coca-Cola Morphe palette. Now, this Morphe palette doesn't have the shade names on it, so I will go ahead and find out later on what the shade name was. So there. Actually, I'm going to go ahead, before I finish, I am going to blend that out more. It's not often I do grays or smoky eyes because it's not my thing, but I like it. It's different. I like having something different once in a while. So now that we're done that, yeah, I'm going to take my Coca-Cola Morphe palette, and I'm going to use this corner shade right here. It's a nice, just a silver glitter, and I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm going to take another little brush for the glitter, and I'm going to dive into that shade. I've used it once or twice before, and that looks perfect. And then I usually do like a shade underneath the eye, so I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with either the Wednesday or Gray Day yet for the bottom. I might go into either a lighter or darker gray. I'm not quite sure yet. So what I do when it comes to pressed glitter, I only ever use it for the middle of my eye. So I am going to just put a little bit in the center, and then once I get it in the center, I kind of blend it out. And like fade off. And then I do the same over here. And then once I do that, I just go ahead and pack like more glitter on in the center. Just so none of the gray underneath is showing. So it's just like that. So I'm going to do that on the other side. I have that completed on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and put my lashes on, and then we're going to move on to the next step after that. But I'm still not quite sure if I am going to. I'm trying to debate on what color I'm going to use underneath. Now that I got my mascara and lashes on, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the foundation and stuff on. There, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and take foundation and I'm going to cut the eyeshadow. And what I mean by that is if there's any eyeshadow over here and I want to sharpen it, I take it something like that, and then I go ahead and take a blending sponge, one with the sharp end, and then I just dab it like that, and it sharpens it, and then I blend out. So I'll do that on both sides. And I'm just gonna fix this right here. And then after this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my setting powder on to set this foundation. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and put some, I find a lot underneath the eye. I'm gonna just put it everywhere. Now it's getting all over me. Yep, it's all over me. I use this Covergirl setting powder. Now again, I mentioned in my other videos that every product I use, I will mention below in case anybody's interested, I suppose. Because I don't think not everything I use, I mention what it is. The setting powder is one of my least favorite things to do when applying makeup, because it gets everywhere. Now for a lipstick, I don't know if I'm gonna go with lipstick this time because I'm not sure if, I'm trying to think on the top of my head what lipstick would go good with this. I would like a light gray, but I'm not sure. Maybe I might use one of the glosses that came with the Cremated collection. I think I'm going to go ahead and use Heavens Gate after. I think that would be a good gloss. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish my eyeshadow right now. I think for the color I'm going to use, I'm not going to use Gravedigger or Wednesday for the bottom. I think I'm going to go ahead with Solemnly Swear. Right there. I think that one would be good. Now I just apply it at the bottom, so I'm going to swing this around. And I do this. And I match it up right here. And then after I apply this, I'm going to go ahead and put some eyeliner on because I just realized that I have none on. I was going to do a lighter gray at the bottom, but I kind of wanted a darker gray. So I'm gonna finish this side and then I will go off camera to do the other side. Now that I got both sides done, I'm going to go ahead and apply my eyeliner. And then I started thinking, I think I'm going to use, I believe, maybe the Diamond Ash shade. I find with a brush it's very sheer, but I'm going to try to put a little bit up in the eyeshadow after this. So I'm going to put that on my waterline. And no, you know what? I think I'm either going to take Diamond Ashes and put it either on the inner corner of my eye or maybe both. On the outer portion and on the inner portion. So I'm going to actually fix this part up. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this is normally why I do not, I wait to do the bottom of my eyeshadow because when I use setting powder, I find it kind of messes it up a little bit, but it's alright. I think I got it this time. Yeah, that looks alright. Actually, I'm going to put, getting all my stuff backwards here. Alright, I'm going to put some of the Benefit Cosmetics Roller Lash mascara on the bottom, and then I'm going to go ahead and use Diamond Ashes. I just completed that side of the eye. I figured I might as well do it on camera anyway. So there, I got my mascara on the bottom as well. So now I'm going to go back into the Cremated palette and I am going to use the Diamond Ash shade right there. And I'm going to attempt to use it. I find with the brush, it doesn't really work out well, but it's been a while since I used it. That was one of the first shades I used when I first got this palette, and it's not picking up. No, my brush is just stained. Nope, I guess that shade is not going to work. That's a shame because it's so nice, but I think that shade is the same formula as most of the shades in the Orgy palette, the mini Orgy palette, and the mini Orgy palettes are not very good in my opinion. I think one of the shades are good, but that's about it. I'm going to use the shade Pallbearer. Let me turn this around. This one on the metallics. I'm going to use that up here. Oh, wow. I'm just going to bring that along up here. I'm not going to fill the whole thing. And then after that, I'm going to do some on the other eye. And then I'm going to take the same brush I used for the pressed glitter. And I'm going to try to attempt to use the Diamond Ashes on the inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of blend Pallbearer up here with the Wednesday Addams. And I just don't understand what's wrong with this palette's a good palette, but some of the shades, some of the formula is different than others. And I feel like Pallbearer and Diamond Ashes must be in the same formula, because I have to use my brush and really go hard with it. So I'm going to do the same on that side. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a little bit of Diamond Ashes on each eye in the inner corner with the brush I use for the pressed glitter. Now let's see if this works this time. That looks a lot better. But I just don't, like, I highly recommend this palette. I do, because if you like the smoky eye, whatever, but I mean, most of the shades are good, but this Diamond Ashes is just not, it's just not it. You have to, I mean, it looks nice, but you really have to dig into the shade and or, I mean, it looks like I'm ruining the shadow. It's just not. I don't think if you use a brush, I don't think you're going to get very many uses out of that one shade. Because you got to use so much in order for it to even work. So after this, I'm going to go ahead and do my highlighter. I think I'm going to use the Platinum Ice Jeffree Star one for this one. I'm not sure yet. I might use that one. I'm just going to bring those out like that. I think where this is my third video, I think this is the first time I actually got into the glitters and stuff. Yes, I do believe that's what's how it is. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do my highlighter. I decided not to go with the Platinum Ice Jeffree Star highlighter. I think I'm going to use the Cold Shoulder shade in the Brainfreeze palette. So it's this one. And no, I did not use Statuesque all up. When it arrived broken and damaged. So I'm going to go ahead with Cold Shoulder. I haven't used this one yet. Kind of reminds me of his Ice Cold shade. Well, kind of looks blue, in my opinion. I shouldn't have used this one. But, I mean, it's not a bad, it's got, yeah, a blue shimmer to it. It's not bad, but I don't think I would reach for this one. Because I've had this palette for a few months now, and I've never bothered to reach for it. I use this palette quite a bit, but I use Freeze Tag and Frozen Fruit the most. So I've never used the Cold Shoulder, Gold Breaker, or Cocky in the Statuesque. Where it was broken and damaged, I just put it in a container and gave it away. Because I wouldn't use that anyway. So yeah, it comes out blue. Which, obviously, if I wanted a blue highlight, I would have went for the Freeze Tag, but... So now that I'm actually using it, I am gonna say no. It's definitely not like the Ice Cold. That shade is more like a whitish. This isn't. So, I'm gonna go ahead and probably blend this out now because I don't want streak lines or whatever. So I will do that now with this brush, and then after that I will go ahead and do the lip gloss. So I am going to use the Heavens Gate gloss. I ordered it with the Cremated palette and they pair so perfectly together. So, oh wait, no, and I'm going to put a little bit highlight on my nose and my chin. And blend that out too. So, now, the lip gloss here. This is the Heavens Gate. Now, when this Cremated collection came out, I believe there was 4 shades. I don't remember well. I don't know if I remember all the names. There was Funeral Parlor, 6 Feet Under, and there was another one. I don't think I remember the names, but now when it comes to my makeup, I mainly use glosses. I don't always use lipsticks, but I really like the quality of his lips, of Jeffree Star's lipsticks, because they're not sticky, but the only thing that I don't like, everybody says they smell so good, they smell so good, but to me, they all smell the same, and they smell like a hospital. It's just, you know, when you walk into a hospital, and you have that smell, that's what it smells like. I don't care for the smell. So it's like a glittery white. Now, he has a lip gloss called Ice Cold. I would have called this one Ice Cold. This one would pair perfectly with Ice Cold highlighter. But if I knew that this cold shoulder highlight would have looked like how it does, I would have went and got the Platinum Ice. Now, I'm one that normally when I buy a palette or a lip gloss, lipstick, whatever, or highlighter, I don't like swatching. To me, it feels like a waste. And I'm sure there's other people out there that feel that way. I feel like it's a total waste. But I did swatch an entire palette, and it was the Jeffree Mini Orgy palette. That's the only palette in my collection that I actually said I have to swatch this. It looks really pretty, but I heard too much bad things about the palette, how there's bad batches, whatever. So when I went to swatch them, there was like 2 or 3 that were actually my favorite shades, but some of them were quite sheer. So I feel like they would be better off as eyeshadow toppers or pretty much a highlight. There's the middle shade is called Frozen Fire. It's like a nice red. That it's very, from how I can picture in my mind, it's pretty similar to the legendary highlighter that he has in the 24 karat highlighter palette. So when I kind of paired them, so they kind of do look a little similar, but out of all his glosses, this one's my favorite. But no, I highly recommend, if you need a good gloss, this one. It's not sticky whatsoever, and they all come out pretty, but I do not like the smell. If you like the smell, that's great, but if you don't like it, I just try to ignore it. He said that one time the scent is supposed to be creme brulee or vanilla or something, but no, it smells like I wanted to say marshmallow, but it's not. It smells like a hospital, for sure. But this is it. I mean, I will list all of the things I used down below in the description. Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to me. I noticed that on my YouTube channel, I go to look, and I have a lot more views than I do of subscribers, so make sure you hit subscribe, and you'll get notifications when I post a new video. I'm going to try to post at least one video a week, probably Tuesdays, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.